Company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich buses today. Ipswich buses, proud to partner with Talk in Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and the Sky Sports curse continues. It is finished. Rotherham 1, Ipswich Town 0. The Crunchy, you did say at half time, next goal wins the game, and it's proved the case. Same old, same old.
Yeah, same old, same old. Second half, out-muscled. Look, it's a game of very fine margins, Martin. Norwood's chance in the first half. Wolfenden's decision in the second half. Look, fantastic run. He's gone all that way and then picked a real poor ball. You know, games are won and lost on little decisions like that and chances like that. I thought Rotherham's second half, though, were full value for their win. They came out the first 10 minutes, got in our faces, and we never really got a foothold in the game, did we? Can't hear you.
No, we didn't. No, I'm joking to death here. Like our team in front of goal. I'm positively joking to death. Oh, Jesus, wept.
Where's Matt? Is Matt coming?
He hopefully is. So where did it go wrong? Because we had our chances.
Yeah, I thought obviously Paul Warren got them fired up, didn't he, with his team talk in half time. But I've had like Matt Stannard saying Rotherham are poor. They're not a poor team. They're in the top two for a reason, Martin. They've been there all season long. And look, it's going to go right to the wire with them and MK Dons. But if they're a poor team, what are we? Last week on it, Lee Anderson, if you're in the chat, you are telling me we've got the best squad. Right, you're telling me we've got the best squad. But time and time again, Martin, when we make substitutions, they do nothing and don't affect the game. The substitutions we made, nothing happened. Chaplin didn't get in the game. Bond didn't get in the game. Piggott probably come on too late. I wouldn't have took James Norwood off. I wouldn't have took him off. You know, I thought he was decent, Matt. Second half, Norwood's a bit of a pest. I know he's on a yellow. Maybe that had something to do with it, but it's just disappointing because it's the same old story, innit, of our season.
With Bulge just massively dropped off in the second half, and I think you probably have to give Rotherham some credit to that, don't you? They gave that. The lad that we liked from Rochdale last season, Rathbone, very similar player to Morsy in a way, a little bit more front-footed, more naturally front-footed maybe. But it was such a crap goal to give away. I know you thought it was a good finish, but
your man's got to be stronger there, Big T. 2 weak in the box, win that first header, and it's bounced about. Look, it's a good finish, Matt, because he's used Wolfen, like they said on the commentary, and he's just curled it round. That's why Michael Smith's got 25 goals this season. He has one chance. The ball's in the back of the net. James Norwood has a chance first half, and he misses. They're second in the league. We are 10th. It's them little details that we don't do. Yeah, and that's why we are where we are. Because for all the huff and puff and good football, I thought it was the same old second half against Rotherham that they bullied us again. Yeah,
I totally agree. Smith offers something that none of our strikers have particularly. Like they were saying, he doesn't even have to leave the air, leave the ground particularly to head the ball. He's so clever with his arms and his positioning. I mean, you could argue that it came up for his goal. It came off Bonn, Backinson, deflection of Wolfenden. Yet he's Johnny on the spot to slot it away. We always never seem to score those goals. We seem to have to rely on Wolfenden running the length of the pitch to stick a ball to cross it in for us to score. You know, it's disappointing, really. But I mean, you're totally right. That's why they're second, and that's why we're in mid-table. Yeah. It's those small margins add up to points at the end of the day. We haven't got enough.
Is there a psychological issue that McKenna's got to fix ASAP in the summer? Because Mike D posted something very similar in the early part of the chat while I was coughing fit. Is that something we've got to address, or is that something that's a byproduct of what's going on?
Yeah, I think so. You know, look, well, I've said before that the definition of madness is, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Do we feel like this set of plays is going to get Ipswich into the top six? We've not, since we come down to League One, as Rich rightly said Friday, we've not even touched the playoffs. I think we've been in the top six at all this season, have we?
No. I think what his 9th highest we've been all season.
I think so, yeah.
So
that's shocking, isn't it? That's shocking for our wage bill and the talent we're supposed to brought in. But I do feel like we are going to see new faces in the summer. I mean, Mike was marked on Twitter in the week.
Too many passengers in the key areas, Martin, today. Look, I know your thoughts on Aluko. I thought he was poor. I thought he was really, really poor today. You know, and he had another game. It's another game with no assists. Selena, I wouldn't give him more than a 4 today. I thought he was bang average. I thought he was average. Chaplin, come on, didn't get in the game, didn't affect the game. Bond, come on, didn't affect the game. James Norwood was the one. No, he should have scored, but at least he offered a little bit. You know, he was a pest. I know he got that yellow. Is it a yellow card? He's caught matey, but I don't think he's deliberately. He's got his arms out. You've got to jump with your arms. How are you supposed to jump other than that? You know?
I thought that was a joke card.
I agree. I thought the referee, it showed there, Martin, football is becoming a non-contact sport. That Aluko yellow card is pathetic.
50-50
because he's got his eyes fixed on the ball and the goalie's got his eyes fixed on the ball. What is he supposed to do? Pull out and not go for it? He catches it. Yeah, we know that, but get in the bin.
If you got, you're right. And going back to the Norwood challenge, like if you are going to jump in the air and you're both going to challenge for the ball, there's going to be arms, right? They kept calling for every Ipswich challenge. They kept calling for like yellows and reds and off. It was a bit after that, really. But there you go.
I think I've got the fishermen waiting, and we do invite you all to come on and have your say. It's obviously your platform, your chance to speak, because these two chats will have their chance tomorrow. So we want you to come on and make Matt sit there and just look pretty this afternoon. I know the fisherman's waiting to come on, but for me, before I bring him on, the biggest issue we've got is the centre of our midfield. Ollie Wraithbone was at Rochdale last year, and today he was the best player on the pitch.
We flagged him as a player, didn't we?
Wraithbone. Who did you call him?
Wraithbone.
What is it? Calm it down.
Don't make Martin cough. Don't make him cough.
Either way, again today, our midfield is where it begins and it ends. And you know, I like Sam Morsy.
I thought he was poor today. Morsy didn't get in the game. Too deep. Even him, it showed second half, Martin. There was a passage of play there. I think Walton's got the ball, bowled it out to Baggett. Baggett's gone wide, so Morsy was in the left back position. And he's lost the ball, and he thought it was our throwing, but that epitomised. They shut us down in that second half. They didn't give us a minute on the ball. No, you know, we're all right, Matt. When these teams sit back, we get the ball, we pass it. Rotherham showed in that second half. Warren must have got into them at half time and give them a right torn a strip off them because they were a totally different outfit.
Yeah,
second half, and
they
fully deserved their win. They did.
More tempo, and with the tempo came Rathbone leading them forward, and we didn't have an answer to it, did we? We looked tired, as Sky said. It just looked more tired side.
George Huggins, Norwood will go. Bomb will go out to QPR. Trevor would not sign Thompson and Backinson, and Selena has to do more for the money he's on. Carl Brooks, at least Norwood presses both Bond and Pickett come on. I thought Pickett looked okay in flashes. Actually,
Pickett doesn't look fit. He does not look.
I thought he did really well. I thought he looked better than Bond did in the time he came on, considering he came on after a goal had been scored, and it was a lump it long situation. What did Bond do in the time that he was given?
Got in the way for the goal, didn't he?
At least Pickett got himself into the game immediately. Bond was on the pitch for much longer than McCoy than Pickett was.
No one had a good second half.
What about Connor Chaplin, Matt, when he came on? What did he offer?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ben Moore makes a great point back in the comments there. Until we sort the left-sided out, that's going to be a huge issue. We're so, as you said earlier, Rich, we're so weighted on the right-hand side.
Shut Burns down, shut Ipswich down.
And I can't understand why Ipswich is so lightweight on the left, considering Selena's over there, a highest paid player. I just don't get it. Very odd.
Louis, there's no point getting too emotional and angry of today. The season's over. Just enjoy the game. We lost a second. Doesn't mean you can stop criticising it though, because you've got.
Yeah. It's just disappointing, isn't it? Offered so much first half, tailed off the second half.
Yep. All right. Let's see what the fisherman's going to say. I'm going to go and find a hard-boiled sweet. Fisherman, over to you.
Hang on. I thought it was Lee Anderson because Lee Anderson's the fisherman around here.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Well, yeah, I'm all right, boys. They doing all right?
Same old, mate. Same old.
So you got lots of pelters in the week, Mike, over your tweet about etc. But
tell me I'm wrong after that shit show in the second half.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You got Selena, who quite frankly, look, I'd get rid of. Go what? Morsy today was one of my I was really pissed off with him because I thought he was poor, and that was probably the worst game he's played under McKenna.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying get rid of Morsy because I wouldn't, but he was shocking today. I don't think he was very good at all. Selena, shocking. Luco, shocking. The back three were brilliant. Burns had a couple of wobbly moments, but looked good. And Norwood, the only ones that can, and Walton probably
You're
can
not
come off.
winning a game. You're right there, Mike. You're not winning a game with 5 players. Not away to a second place team, Rotherham. And I know people can say Rotherham didn't look that great. You have to understand, if you understand football, that was a real pressure game for them today.
Yeah.
It's all about the 3 points for Rotherham. And Paul Warren will be delighted with that win, Mike, because they've got the win. They might not have played that well.
The thing is, they haven't won. They haven't won, have they, for the last 3 games? They've lost to quite a few teams lower than that.
Yeah.
15th of March.
You know, I mean, with respect, right? We should be going now. I actually put us down for a win today. I thought, we'll get, Rotherham play a bit open. They're going to press, and we can hit them on the break, or play to our game. Oh, we just look lackluster up front again. I mean, Norwood missed a sitter, right? Okay, well, people will get on his back, no doubt. But with respect, I've seen world-class players miss worse than that. And it does happen. It's just part of the football. But you're expecting the game to get more chances than that. I know Wolfie was brilliant again today.
I'll come back on you there. Mike. Michael Smith had 1 chance for Rotherham. It was a half chance, and he's put it in the net. And that's why they're second. And Norwood's miss, not just because of that. That's why we're 10th.
I feel with Norwood, Mike. I'll just come back on the conversation. Apologies if you've covered this. I feel with Norwood, he takes you as far as he takes you, which is 9th or 10th in League One. He's not the striker to get you over that hump that his football club clearly has in the 3rd tier.
Yeah, so Piggott, Bond, and Jackson are they? And people are sitting there want to keep Jackson. What's he done in the time he's been here?
No,
Norwood's done more than all 3
I think that's more of a tactical decision, though, from McKenna.
Hang on, Mike. We've had this discussion before about Jackson. Keiran McKenna's Mike's not looking at what Jackson's done before Keiran McKenna's come here. He's looking at what he's done under his time. And what he's done under his time, he's done quite well, in my opinion.
Hang on a second. But then you've got fans saying, since Norwood's been here. So you can't not look at the past of one player and not look at the past on another player. You've got to look at the players. With respect, Jackson's had 2 good. Sorry?
People keep telling me that Norwood will score 20+ goals a season, and he's not done it.
Well, no, because he's not fit for half of it.
There you go.
And I'm with everyone else. I think it's time for Norwood to go. We need that. We brought in Piggott, who scored 20 goals last season plus. And what's he done? He came in today. Substitutions. What was that all about? Brought on Chaplin for a Luco. Okay, Luco was poor, but Selena was worse than him. What does he offer?
I think he was injured as well, wasn't he? Because he got that bang from the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I do agree with you, Mike. I do agree with you in terms of what has Jackson done. If we're looking at Norwood, and you can't really absolve one if you're going to criticise the other. However, I do think with Jackson, that's more of the way McKenna wants his teams to play with the pace of a striker. He has got a good ability in providing assists, Jackson. That is to his credit. It's something he's always done consistently well. Would he be a number 1 for me next year? Absolutely not. Would he be for Keiran McKenna? Probably not. But he is somebody you'd like in and amongst your squad as an option off the bench compared to James Norwood, who
as a manager today, right? Again, you have to question the substitutions. You brought Piggott on, and where did he play? Wide left at the 3. There's no formation change in game play. Rotherham did that today. They started off with a 4-3-3, and then they switched to 3-5-2. And look how they ripped us apart in the second. They did rip us apart in the second half. We looked like a team struggling to survive rather than a team that sat there 10th. And yet other teams have played Rotherham recently and ripped them a new arsehole. No disrespect, but I put on Twitter and I got hammered for it by numpties and idiots. And quite frankly, I stand by that. I'd get rid of all of them and bring in 6 or 7 far better players than them. I tell you, I really would. They're just not good enough for this club. And if we really want to get promoted out of this league, and believe me, I do, otherwise I wouldn't be so passionate about it, we've got to get better than them. Selena, overrated, I'm afraid, has 1 good game in 3, proven again today, backed up today. Aluko, great with the ball, lacks a final pass, decision making all over the place. Backinson looked like he looked like an asthmatic snail today. So I just, and again, Thompson on the left didn't look good enough as a defensive player. Baggett, I want to talk about Baggett, actually. I thought he had a really good game. That must have been really nervous playing a home game against a top side like Rotherham that are a top side in this league. And, I thought he really handled himself with some real good credit. So credit to the young lad.
Yeah. Really good to see. Totally agree.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got belters, Mike, and I supported you on Twitter.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it.
I do agree. I think people are thinking, looking at that list of players you gave, out of contract players, loan players. There's a good chance none of them will be here, and we have assets in Chaplin and Pigger that could be make weights for other deals to bring better players in for us. So I think people are dreaming if they don't think there's going to be changes, because there will be. We're going to finish mid-table. It's the reality.
But 14, I think the number was what.
Well, I think he wants a smaller squad anyway.
Well, we brought 19 in, Martin. We brought 19 in when we were all told, and we could go back and look at, the press conferences and doing that. We're not going to have a big squad. Now, for me, I would only bring 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 players at the most out of them 14, and really bring in players that suit what I want to do as a manager. And quite frankly, we need a more. Hello, we miss Evans. We know that, because Evans and Morsy are a great little partnership, But we do need a backup for Evans and a backup for Morsy in that midfield. We do need players. When Rotherham got forward today, they had 4 or 5 players in the box. When we went forward, we had 1, 2, 3 shots on target, 3 shots on goal today, 1 on target. That said everything, and yet we dominated that first half. It was very Paul Lambert-esque again, dominating the teams with no end product.
Yeah, same old story. Same different personnel, same old story. Yeah.
But like I said, Mike, the 2 key moments in that game for me was Norwood's miss and Wolferdon's final decision. That to me, that should have been 2 goals. 2 goals there on a plate.
Yeah. But well-golf players are miss chances like that, and that just happens in football.
That is why we're tempted.
You've worked with Richard.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And to say that this team is this squad is the best squad in League One, bollocks. I love Lee, and I do honestly. I think he's a fisherman like myself, and he's caught some cracking fish recently, and like I say, but on that front, he's got that miles wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mike, Elkin Baggett, final word from yourself on him. League debut today. First Indonesian player to play in the Football League. What did you make of his display today?
Well, obviously, start the game, he looked a bit nervous. So let's be fair, he probably was nervous. He had a few players chatting to him as previews were going on. You could see him going up to him, relax. You do a bit of lip reading, saying, "Look, relax, go out, enjoy yourself." And I thought, you know what? I thought he handled himself really well today. I thought he's a player that you should be keeping, and with Edmondson, Burgess, Wolfie, and Donatian. We've got a defensive lineup capable of keeping players at bay. What we lack is our midfield, and we lack any real quality up front as well. And we just got to stop plan A with different players, which is what happened again today, really.
Okay. All right, Mike. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Welcome,
Bob. And you guys have
We appreciate you, Mike. Look after yourself. Great comments. Bob Lockhart, welcome to the family. New YouTube member. Welcome home. Couple of comments, and I've got Leando for you, Rich. Leighton Darren, 6 of the starters today can go in the summer. That's over half of our team. I'm sure McKenna will sort this in the summer.
How long have we got? How long we got? Me and Lee going back and forth again.
As much as you want. This time, I might actually decide if I can believe it or not. One real positive going to next season is our defence and goalkeeper for me. All the other positions in the team are certainly up for grabs.
I was going to say, that's a good comment from Rob, because you think Baggett's play today, we are massively overstocked with centre-backs. You've got George Edmondson, you've got Cameron Burgess, and you've got Corey and Darber as well.
I'd cash in.
Someone's going to get cashed. We said it in the first show today, didn't we, Martin? Someone will get cashed in, I think.
You got to, because ball playing defenders don't grow on trees. You've got a couple of there and one coming through.
I thought Baggett was outstanding today for a first game. Away at a team who you know what you're getting from them, Martin. They're sticking balls in the box, corners, free kick. That's another thing I want to talk about. We give a lot of free kicks away cheap, Matt, around the box today. You can't do that against them sort of teams. No. But I thought we handled it pretty well, other than the goal. But I thought Baggett and Wolfenden,
this is where Baggett needs to play again Tuesday, and then beyond, Rich, because
just keep playing.
With young players, it's about can they put it together at a consistent level to really know whether they're ready to make that first step into
Big High in it today. Big High making your debut, and then tomorrow he's like reflecting. But then I'll definitely Cameron Burgess. We know what he can do. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's done really well since he's come in, but I think we're going to learn more about Elkan Baggett on Tuesday.
Yeah, and beyond.
Playing him again he's playing against Will Keane. He's playing against Callum Lang. Very good players in this league. Let's see what he can do again if he can back it up.
I hope he does play. Absolutely. Because you can put Burgess back in. He's got a similar build to Burgess, hasn't he? He's kind of Fridge is called Fridge for a reason. He's kind of lanky, 6'4", isn't he?
Babyface. Followers on Instagram.
Yeah. Trevor, Jackson cannot play as a lone striker. It's been proved. Vince Bird, doesn't matter who you play up front, and there's nobody capable of passing the final ball to them.
Yeah.
Simon, too many fouls given. Today it could have been punished, as you were just saying there, Rich. We'll never score from a corner. Adam, defence superb, midfield and forwards correct next to nothing. You stop Burns, you stop Ipswich. That graphic with the key attacking areas, like 70% down the right, 18% down the middle, and the rest down the left. That just summed us up in one graphic, didn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It was almost embarrassing. It's not often
that's what we need.
Heavy.
A Burns style threat on the left. That's what we're really missing, for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Or in the middle. So somewhere else other than the right flank.
I think they play well as a partnership, don't they, Matt? You've got JD because he can fill in that spot. Yes. So you need whoever's that left-sided centre-back can fill in that spot for whoever you're going to have. Left-sided. I'll go for, if they didn't get promoted, I'll go Connor Grant at Plymouth.
Yeah,
he's been town before.
Mike D.
We need someone like Cresswell when we found him from Tranmere, and someone who can push on. Look at a bit of hunger about him. Don't want to play in front of 9,000 like at Rotherham. Come play in front of 26,000 at Bournemouth.
They want to. Yeah, they are out there. They do exist. Mike D, does Backers have a trampoline strap to his right foot? I'm pretty sure Matt won't have any blasphemy against Big.
He did have a good game today. You got to call it. Yeah.
He's your third best midfield player, or he should be, if you want to be pushing for promotion. He's because Ollie R for Rotherham.
Rathbone. Come on, you can say it. Come on, say it after me. Repeat after me.
Wraithbone, darling.
Anyway, what I did glean today from the commentary, Matt, was what were they calling him? Sean Aluko.
Someone clip that up. Sure. Did you spot the Boy Boston fan club on the TV, Rich?
Yeah, Colin was there. I see him trotting down the steps at the end.
Coxey, Baggett, fantastic. Wolfie, outstanding, but midfield and up front, impotent. Trigger Lee, we might finish lower than last season. Who would have thought it?
Who would have thought it on Wakefield? I'll never go over that.
I have got Colin. He is travelling, so we might lose him. But I'll bring him in until Lee returns because he's just gone somewhere. Here is Colin. Hello, Colin. You all right?
He's not there.
He's not there.
Yeah. It's a great shot.
He's on the coach. Colin's on the coach.
He can't hear us, but we can see him.
Rolls.
And
should have got Ham and Mustard again, I'd imagine.
I'll try and speak to him and get him back. But Lee's here. Best squad in League One.
I never said that.
Here he is.
What I said. Let's just put this to bed.
You said name a better sub bench than Town.
Absolutely. And go on. You just 5 minutes ago, you just said, look how stacked we are for centre backs. Did you not? Did you? Well, there we go. So there you go. You're look.
I'm not saying it's the best squad in the league.
The squad's not playing great together, is it? Let's be honest. The dog's just started as soon as I come on here. Archie, shut up. Bloody dog. Anyway, so what I was saying is the strength in the depth that we have to the squad compared to other pretty much every club.
Exactly.
You can only play 11 of them. You can only play 11 of them. And in actual fact, the biased thing you put on Twitter, Crunch, actually, it was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And you were getting a bit worried at one stage because a lot of people agree with me. And I didn't even say it was the best squad. I said
in the end, and there's 43% of deluded Town fans if they still think we got the best squad league.
Well,
with 10th in the league.
We've got the league
once again today. A subs bench, you've made the changes, and the subs done absolutely fuck all. You're telling me
the point is, since we went on, since when we conceded the last, there was 10 minutes, and then the 10 minutes of time added on. We were dreadful, weren't we? We were absolutely dreadful. Yeah. We put two strikers on, Fisherman. I heard you earlier. I love you too. Two strikers, and we were absolutely shocking and woeful because we're still trying to play the ball out from the back. When we have Plan B, we've got to play Plan B, and we've got to get the ball up to the strikers quicker. It means we've got to knock the ball longer. We can't be playing out from the back with 10 minutes to go. We've got to change it at that point, and that was the most disappointing bit for me today. That part of the game was we seem to be structured in a way we're going to play, but we don't have. We put the extra players on, but we do nothing. But we do nothing with them, and that's happened all season. So that was the most frustrating bit about it for me today. And but what a run for Wolford! What a run for Wolford!
Similar to last week, because I thought that we played quite well first half, and then second half it was as if they come out the blocks and. We didn't really have the fight. It was one of them in the season feels to me. It was like, well, we're a bit like we're going through the motions. Rotherham want it more than we do. Well, we've lost the game.
Yeah.
The dog's not happy, Lee. Sort the dog out, Lee. Sort the dog out.
Hang on.
It seems to me that McKenna's game plan is to try and take the lead, isn't it? And then you keep the possession. Because we dominated so much possession in that first half. If we'd been 1-up going into half time, would have been a different story maybe for Rotherham. Panicked a little bit more. But 0-0 is a different story. But certainly, if Norwood scores that, I mean, I think McKenna's game is just based on possession. You take the lead, it's going to be difficult to beat us.
I think their forced substitution did help them. That's on commentary as well, wasn't it? They changed their shape again, and that slowed us down. That did slow us down a little bit. But I think it was just. I mean, Norwood should score, shouldn't he? I mean, there's no if buts about that, and. We should 4-on-1 in the second half when Wolford goes through. We're just not. Yeah. I think this game pretty much sums our season up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We start the game really well. We have that moment. We don't score first. If we don't score first, we're really going to be in trouble. I know we've been pegged back a couple of times, but we've got to get that first goal. And when we don't, and if we go behind, I can never generally see us coming back.
No.
Because we don't have that. Longer, straighter ball. I mean, today again we've conceded another goal from a bloody long throw, haven't we? All the goals we're conceding are all coming from set plays.
Yeah.
And that's we haven't got the play. We don't have, I suppose, the players for that, which is the most frustrating thing about this league, I suppose, and maybe some of the Championship. But that's that really.
It's a great point, Lee, because we've conceded goals in those 1-1s, the Oxfords and the Shrewsburys, as we said last week, Rich, with goals that we never score. The Oxford game, corner comes in.
That's what but you know what to expect when you go to a Rotherham away. You look at a lot of their goals. They're from throw-ins, they're from crosses, they're from corners, and that's what it was today. We haven't dealt with the throw-in; it's pinged around, and I still think, Matt, it's a good finish. Michael Smith, he's had that one chance and he's buried it.
Yeah.
It was cool finish. He didn't lash at it. He passed that in. He passed it in.
He's everything Piggott isn't, that guy. You know what I mean?
Well, well, that's what Piggott was doing for Wimbledon, but he's not done it for us.
Exactly.
but he hasn't done it for us. But you know, it's we just got to hang on. Just got to hang on for the next couple of games. Stay positive. Keep looking to the future. Keep playing bagger, but let's not overhype him. Crunch. You know, one game. Yes, he's done well. We've got to.
I'll play him again. I want to see what he can do on Tuesday. I want to see if he can back that up. Yeah, as well as he played today. Let's see, like when he's had the come down, you know, he's obviously on a high. He's made his debut, but let's see what he can do on Tuesday. I don't know if he'll play him. I wouldn't be surprised if Burgess came back in. But what we need to do is try and, like you say, Lee, you've got to retain this positivity, because you lose on Tuesday. You know what our fans are like, Martin. You know, everyone sort of, they're either up here or they're down there. You know, and we do have to realise that the season is over, but let's try and get a positive result Tuesday. And let's look. We might not evenly hit last season's points tally, and we're supposed to have got a better squad.
Yeah. Well, it just shows what a job Lambert did. It does.
Don't get started now, Lee. Come on.
No, but it does, doesn't it? Look where we were. Look where we were when Cook came in. You know, and you know, and we're still overall the season. We said it the other night, and didn't we? That overall the season has been on the pitch has been a disaster. It's been a disaster for where we're going to finish with the investment that we've had. Without that, you know, the players that we have brought in have generally player for player been better.
A lot of people don't want to hear that though, Lee. A lot of people, town fans who've got the blue tinted glasses on, they don't want to hear that the season's been a disaster, but it has. You can't.
On the pitch, it has. Yeah, off the pitch.
Nowhere near the playoffs.
No, we would never have dreamt this, would we? We'd never have dreamt this with the players that we've got, with that squad that we've got. We wouldn't have thought that. And you know, and I suppose the alarm bells going back to, you know, what Matt was saying right earlier in the, you know, after the Bolton game, get rid of Cook. You know, I didn't want that, and I thought we needed to be given time. But in hindsight, it's a great thing, isn't it? He's got to.
Can't get that back.
You know, he destroyed the end of our last season and the start of this one. But let's just hope that the squad stays. And what I mean by settled is let's not have 9, 10, 11 in and 11 out. We can't have that. There we go. We can't have those sort of changes. We've got to look and just improve in 3 or 4 positions. I think we can't just chuck people out all the time and bring people in all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work like that. I mean,
certainly trim some fat though, like a Carroll. Let Penny go. Get better options on the left. Thompson will go. Will we sign Backinson? I don't know. I think there's a deal there. But he
weren't very good today. The jury's out with him. He's still young, don't forget. But he had the opportunity where the ball broke to him, and he's running towards the 18 up, and he just over passes it. You know, we can't. What was that 4? That was like 4 on 2 or something. We can't. You know, we've got to make more of those chances, and that's again. That's another point that sums our season up, I think.
And fine margins.
And it is absolutely.
Are you sat in front of the Ipswich Town fans' motto wall by any chance? Smile, believe, happy days, have fun. Sort of tell ourselves every week, innit?
I don't even know what it's been up there about 3 years. I don't even know what it says. Why puts that up? It's not my job. I'm not of a high enough pay grade to have anything that goes on. You know,
I can see believe.
What their call looks like.
I can see believe, happy days, smile, fun, love. It sounds like something we say to ourselves every single Saturday. We're here because we love it. We believe, and happy days are coming.
Yeah. I mean, I must say though, the season has been enjoyable. I've enjoyed some of the football. You know, it's been a roller coaster ride, but you know, we've looked better a lot of the time. I've enjoyed the football. I've enjoyed the games. I mean, and what we've got to do next year is when teams come and sit behind the ball, we've got to stay patient. We've got to stay with the team. Because you can hear the talk. Every manager, the managers today on the telly, talking about how we play and complimentary of the style that we play and the players that we do have. Okay, so we've got to, you know, teams are parking the bus with us. I know they'll do it with MK Dons and that to a bit, but we've got to, you know, we've got to stay with the players next season, every game, all the time, which pretty much we have done this season, to be fair. But we've got to keep that positivity going into next season. But by God, we've got to hit the ground running.
Good comment there, Mine, from Safety Guy.
Yeah. You
know, just we're not being negative.
It's fact.
You You can have the blue tinted glasses on and say that everything's amazing, but it's not. And I agree with Mark Wall there. Next season, it's not going to be a cakewalk, and everyone thinks that we're just going to steamroller this league again.
Of course,
because look what's happened the last 3 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. We won't be the only set of supporters that are going to finish in the mid-table of League One that feel next year will be a better year for whatever reasons they want to tell themselves. Portsmouth will be one of them for sure. Particularly if they finish as strongly as they can.
A Sunderland or a Wednesday, both of them could still be in the league. They'll probably be in the playoffs, but there's no guarantees that they're going to go up.
Exactly.
Good Derby coming as well.
Derby coming down.
Yeah. Derby, I mean, they'll go two ways, Derby, won't they? They'll either do really well and finish top two and get bounced straight back up, or they'll end up finishing like us, drop right off and end up mid-table or something. I don't think that, it'll either be up there or down there for them. I don't think they'll have nothing in the middle.
Do you think Rooney will still be there, Lee?
He talks about it, doesn't it? Wasn't he interviewed the other day and he said, I don't think they know what the state, where the club's going to be, what the finances are, but it looks like he'll do it for nothing. Doesn't it? He's probably doing it.
He's done a really good job, Matt. I agree that. I think he's done a tremendous job.
He could get cherry-picked by someone else in the Championship, I think.
Yeah. But you see, he's doing it as an underdog at the moment, isn't he? Because they know they've got to chase every game. You get in that League One, and Derby rock up to Morecambe or wherever they're going to go. If Morecambe are still on, I can't remember if they're still in or whatever. They're going to find that that's going to be different. Just we found.
They'll be like us. They'll be getting 30,000 every week, and it's that expectation that you have to carry on your shoulders. And there's another thing, Martin. This is what these players, I think I said it after the Cambridge game, these players that we've got at the minute, the expectation next season, when they're at Portman Road, when they're on the road, we're taking loads of fans everywhere. They've got to get that into their heads. Have they got, look, they're obviously all talented footballers, but they've got to have the right mindset. That it's going to be a slog. It's going to be hard. We can't just... I think we need to find more than just one way of playing football, because at the minute, and I agree with Lee, totally going back to you when you bought two strikers on, we're still trying to play the same football. And we're 1-0 down. You have to adapt. You have to adapt.
And one player less in midfield.
It might be ugly, Lee, but you have to get results. And sometimes it doesn't matter how you do it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no point changing the shape if you're not going to change the way you play. Because you put two up top, and to be fair, and when we did knock the ball forward, none of the two strikers were on the last shoulder. There's no one to run in. Those two both don't run in behind. I think Bond's just lost his movement. There's one time when he's not running parallel and darting in behind. He's just looking to go forward in behind all the time. He's not curving his runs or anything like that. I mean, that's like, non-league standard to curve your run. You teach people to curve their runs, and we're not doing that. But yeah, I mean, you can't play the same way, put two up front, have one less in midfield, and then still expect to play the same way.
It'd be nice if the media actually asked that question, because we see the after stuff on the club. Well, Keiran, tell us your thoughts about that one. No one actually gets into that nitty-gritty that you're saying. You made those subs, you didn't change the format of play. It'd be nice to hear what he's thinking would be around that.
Yeah. I mean, you keep your general shape, aren't you? You keep your general shape.
Yeah.
But you're just pushing someone a bit further forward. But like the goal kicks, we're still trying to get past it. We couldn't get the ball out of our half. I don't think did we get the ball out of our half in the extra time or the time added on. I think the ball must have been the Rotherham half twice. And we didn't even have it really. That just got knocked long. And that's just disappointing.
10-15 minutes, Lee, of the second half, we didn't get over the halfway line.
Yeah.
When we did get the ball, we made some really poor decisions. We gave the ball on. Yeah. There's another thing. Do we always need to be playing three centre-backs when we're 1-0 down? Bin one of them off.
Fair point.
Yeah.
All right, Lee, I'm going to try and bring Colin in again in a second.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
Look after yourself. Some great points there, particularly the adaptability one, because it was the same against Cambridge. Put two strikers on. And the ball never went anywhere near them.
These teams know how we play now. They know what Town do. We're good in possession. You look at the second half, Matt, when they put them possession stats up, it totally flipped.
Yeah.
But we need... it's like a golfer, like I said on Sunday. We need to have different clubs in your bag.
Yeah.
You do. You can't play one way all the time and expect to get out of this league. You have to have different ways of playing. Two up front, go long.
That
Mix
goes
it up
back
a
to
bit
the,
sometimes. We're
that
too
goes back to
predictable at the minute.
yeah, it goes back to actually what you were saying earlier, right? In terms of Jackson, and we know McKenna likes to call them profiles. There's a different profile to all the other strike options. You know, Bond and Norwood is going to be like for like, but you bring a Jackson on, that might encourage a different style of playing. That
What's happened to Bond? What has happened to Bond, Matt? Because he's totally just fell off the cliff.
Let's hear from Callie. Colin's disappeared, but Callie's there as well. Callie, you there?
Were you out shopping? What's going on here?
No, just walking back. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are you there today? You were there?
I don't know if you can see it there. Wait.
The
background.
Yeah, see it now.
Yeah, disappointing, man. If Norwood takes his chance in the first half, we win that game.
Yeah.
Reality is, even if we had 20 minutes additional time, we didn't look like scoring after that. We did well in the first half, faded towards the end of the first half, and then second half we just went on this long ball thing. And that's not what we do in the McKenna, man. We're meant to play football. So when the long ball goes forward, you've got maybe Bond, maybe Norwood getting a head on. It goes nowhere. No second man, nothing. So, I don't know. Just didn't look good. Probably one of the worst games of the season, to be honest.
Second half.
And Rotherham are shit. Paul Warne's a cunt, and their whole team are a bunch of cheating bastards. But yeah.
That aside.
They're second in the league and we're 10th.
I'm just getting to my car. I'll jump back on in like 2 minutes because I can get the headphone in properly.
All right, man. Look after yourself. Appreciate that. Colin, are you there?
Yes, Colin.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Yeah, Colin, the man on Sky Sports.
Hang on. The most important thing is, how many rolls have you got left?
3.5.
3.5?
What sort of rolls?
3.5.
You got ham and cheese, Colin. Ham and cheese.
Can you hear me, Gal?
Yeah. What sort of rolls are
Delayed.
they?
Hello.
Can you hear? Yeah.
They're moving, aren't they? I can see the coach moving.
Yeah, Colin, it's because you're moving, man. Let's try Jeremy. Jeremy, you there?
I am.
Hey,
Good man.
Good man. Hope you're not cooking this week.
I thought we started off well. The thing is, we got, as someone Bob Lockhart said, we have to learn to win ugly.
Yeah.
If we take our chances, like the first that Norwood chance, and then that chance in the second half, we'd have won that easy, 2-1.
Agreed. All about McKenna ball's all about taking the lead, I think, Jeremy, and in having the possession to if the opposition haven't got the ball, they can't score, can they? That's what it's all down to.
I thought Selena was lucky to stay on the field.
Yeah,
really?
I agree. Yeah, I thought he might get sent off. It was stupid.
Because if you raise your hands to any person on the field, that should be a straight red card.
If I went up to, hang on, Jeremy, if I went up to Matt in the street and pushed him in the chest and he fell over like that, I'd have laughed at him because it was embarrassing how Rathbone fell over.
Don't laugh at me if you're going to push me over.
Martin would be sitting behind you, he'd be ducking down. You know the ones where you used to be at school and you come along to shove someone and they
It
go
was
fly.
never a red card.
Morsy did less and got sent off against Accrington.
He didn't get booked today, did he?
No, he should have done for that little sly foul just at the start of the second half when he wiped matey out. Lovely.
One day, I actually put the national winnings on Morsy to get a booking. And the fucker doesn't get a booking.
He should have done.
Come on. Come on.
Sly little trick, man.
Every tackle he made, I was like, book him. Book him.
I'm still proud of Ipswich the way we played because we did try.
I thought we should try every week, Jeremy. That's the bare minimum, isn't it? Trying.
Yeah, well, obviously.
It was a good first half. Take the positive, Jeremy. It was a good first half. Yeah. We said we looked like the team that was gunning for second, not Rotherham. But
the
game's 90 minutes, sadly.
What are we going to do, Jeremy? What are we going to do to get out of this league next season?
Win games.
Yeah, turn wins. Absolutely.
Flip that one up, boys and girls. That is the best answer I've ever heard, Jeremy. Jeremy, last week was risotto. What are you going to cook up in the kitchen this week?
funny enough, risotto.
Oh, I like it. A man that sticks to a routine. I like it.
Made it yesterday, and I still got some left.
Oh, there you go. Well, enjoy your risotto. Who was your man in the match today? How was it? Elkin Baggett for the performance on his debut?
Yes. I thought he had a good game. Good game for him.
Start him again Tuesday?
I would, yes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Jeremy, we appreciate you. Hopefully you'll come on and see us again either tomorrow or Monday. Warnock's retired now, says Trevor. Dwight Gow can still do a job, says Jack. Colin, are you still there?
Hi, Colin.
Yes, Gav. Yeah, I'm here, mate.
What did you make of the game, Colin? Tell us your thoughts.
I was very, very underwhelming. I've got to say, hello, Matt. Hello, Rich. Not a very good performance, Gav. There was a lot of below average performances on there today. Thompson was absolutely awful, and I'd ever slag a match with absolutely anybody who said different. The bloke was absolutely bang average. In fact, it was worse than that. I thought Battinson had probably arguably one of his worst games. Wolverton done okay as usual. Walton didn't do much wrong. Up front, I mean, obviously the chance that Norwood had. I mean, I said to Matt Stannard, I would have ripped Ian's head off by Ian if he'd have missed that in the Sunday League game. I would have ripped his head off. I mean, that was so much of a chance. I mean, and you get the goal, you go on from there, you know. But I mean, look, we've got to, you know, I don't know how much money we've got to have to spend in the summer, but we've got to the 11 players who start today. I'll be very surprised if 6 of them start at the start of next season. I really would. I'd be very surprised if 6 of them start. You know, I mean, Chaplin is very underwhelming at the minute. Whether I'd get rid of him or not, I don't know. But you know, very, very hard to say. But I mean, the front two never ever do themselves, or front three never really do themselves any justice whatsoever at any time. Yeah. You know, but at least Keiran knows what he's got to do, Gov. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He does know what he needs to do. Jordan says Thompson gives the ball away every time he gets it. Worse than Penny at Plymouth, asks Mike D.
What Thompson?
Correct.
Thompson.
It wasn't a good performance from him, was it? Premier League player.
I'd say yeah, definitely, yeah. I think it's one of the worst displays I've seen by any town player this season, if I'm quite honest with you.
All right,
you know, and I'm trying to be as honest as I possibly can do without blowing me top. Because, you know, I don't come up here to see us lose 1-0. I come up to see us either draw or win, you know.
But you did go all the way out to see Elkin Baggett's league debut. What did you, a man of many years, make of that? That good. Right. We lost him. Callie, what did you make of Elkin Baggett's debut?
It's in the car now.
Oh, phenomenal. Yeah, I'm in the car now. I'm in the car. We've got the headphones. I thought, apart from, if I'm going to be critical, he had he played a kind of loose ball in the first half, which we got bailed out of, which could have, you know, hit us on the attack or whatever. But I thought he used. Oh, got scared. Gov away. He's used his aerial presence really well. Dominated where he needed to be. I thought, you know, some quick passing. He kept the ball well. He didn't panic, considering that's your league debut. And I believe it's the first Indonesian ever to play in England, or certainly the EFL.
Yeah.
So a lot of kind of, I know we talk about, okay, these are just stats or whatever, but he's a young man, and these are a lot of things that are going to be kind of could weigh heavy on you. And it could have been a situation where maybe, you know, he could have had a bad game. The nerves got the best of him, as we've seen with other people, not necessarily Ipswich players or whoever in the past. But I thought he did well. He didn't look like he was playing his first league game. You know, there was no different. You know, I know we went from Fridge down to Cam, and Cam stepped up, and Cam's not there, and I thought Baggett stepped up. I thought he's been no worse in that position. I know it's only one game, but he's been no worse in that left side kind of off the three at the back than what Burgess has been or what even Fridge has been in a free.
Yeah.
Right. But again, it's one game, so like. And we do, despite as much as we try and stay impartial, we do have our kind of academy tinted glasses on. But it was great because when you come out after, everyone's there, all the little kids and everyone waiting to get signatures off him and pictures and all the rest of it. And it was like, yeah, it was good. And I think his mum or someone was there watching as well, so it was good. But I thought he was good. He was a good player. Defensively, we looked okay. It was just a sloppy goal, not clearing our lines, trying to maybe keep possession too much. Norwood scores the first goal. It's over. It could have gone a different way. We could have put the game to bed maybe. But in the second half, we decided, if you look at things like the goal kicks, we used to play out of the back of the goal kicks. Second half, we were just lumping it long. And like I said earlier, credit to Nords, he was getting about and he was winning the headers, but he's winning them to flick them onto someone, and your players are 20, 30 yards away. There's no one next to him. And then when we're trying to hit their box and pressure them and pepper them with some crosses or whatever, no one's there. You got one blue shirt to aim at. I think that was that great, and it's such a shame it didn't happen, but pre-assist Sonny Aluko. I'm just saying that there for your man in the top left, Mr. Martin. Pre-assist Sonny Aluko in the first half, dinked a lovely ball down our right wing. Burns gets it, plays it across, and it's just it's just evaded everyone. But yeah, that could have been another pre-assist for him. I know you like that stat, Martin.
Would you keep him in all honesty? Joking aside, Sonny Aluko's contract is up for renewal. Which is that something you were looking to keep, or has the club got to keep moving itself forward? And to move forward, you've got to say great year from him, or a good year certainly, but it's not where we need to be heading.
So, yeah, I would keep him. I think he's got the kind of experience as well. And I know what we're saying, like, okay, you may look at stats, this, that, and the other, and like this may be a bit controversial, but Chaplin's got goals and stuff. I wouldn't, I can imagine he's taking a good wage. I can imagine we could sell him for a decent profit. I would cash in on Chaplin because, in all honesty, and I'm trying to be as fair as possible, in all honesty, I don't actually see what he's been bringing lately. And without trying to be ultra critical, was he just going through a purple patch earlier in the season? Because he doesn't seem to replicate that lately. But then no one's really scoring anyway. But today he come on. I say he buzzes around. He does well. He'll buzz around, get the ball here, get the do there, without actually doing anything. And I know people probably can say the same about Sonny, but I think Sonny looks to make things happen. He takes a bit more of a risk, and I think like I said, I know you don't like that really, but the pre-assist thing, right? That there, Wes Burns, if he finds someone there and it's a good cross, that's a goal there as well. That was the one that Norwood missed, Callie. Yeah. Sorry, that was. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Norwood's missed. The other one I was on about, I think, is actually Thompson on the left back, and he played it across from the left. Oh, the goalie just got his fingers to it, didn't he? Yeah, and then I think Sammy and Norwood were just missed out on that. Yeah. Again, we were looking good in the first half, and then second half it was just lump it forward, see what we can do. And apart from prime Maldini in terms of Luke Wolfenden, who decided took on a couple of 1-2s, nutmegs a man. And then I think that then we get the first shot on target. And again, that's picked up from your centre-back in our own half. And whilst, yes, that's great to see. And, Wolfie's done really well. And, what a comeback he's had. But should you be relying on your centre-back to be doing that? Like, Rotherham had their wingers, making the play. They had that Smith or whatever. He was falling all over the gaff. And, we spent more time on the floor. But I swear, and me and Mason were looking around the whole game, like, where is this sniper? Like, I'm seeing them all day drop. I cannot see the sniper. I went to the police, like, no, please, look, go get the sniper. All these Rotherham players are dropping, man. Help them. They didn't care. So I was just like, shame on you, Rotherham police. Shame on you, man. Sniper in the loose as well. But, in all seriousness, like, we call it shithousing. If we was 1-0 up, we'd be like, yeah, cool, why not? Just carry on and eat up a couple of minutes. But even the dumb things like, they're going to take a throw in, and it's like, okay, this person's going to run and pretend to take the throw. No, now it's someone else. Now it's someone else.
Yeah.
And then I know, like, throwing for me is a big frustration as well, because I don't know how we become so shit at throwing. I don't know how we take our time. Referee told him to, like, he drew Sam out.
In that second half, I don't know if you see it, Donassi was taking an age over it, and then the ref
called the referee called Sam over. Because he was just saying, hurry it up. He was saying, look, hurry it up. Because I think the ref has to give him a warning before you can say it's a foul throw or book him or whatever. But then just before that, they had a throw on the other side and the guy threw it out of play, like on the same touchline. So it was a typical League One thing. In reality, travelling up here, I didn't have high expectations. I just think the performance wasn't there.
70 minutes, didn't you? Only an hour and 10 down the road.
I'll be back home. I'll be back home probably before the pod finishes. But no,
you're our last guest, my friend. You're our last guest. We've got these two boys live.
I'm on the M6 now. I've just pulled up. I'm on the M6 now. There we go.
I can't let you go though without asking you how you saw Sam Morsy's performance today, because I felt it was his most poor performance in the town shirt, flat performance. Didn't get a booking, which is what I desperately needed him to get, and it was just an all-round bad performance from the lad. How did you see it today?
I think everyone. I don't think there was no one that really come out there with some credit in the bank. It was a flat performance across the board. I think that just shows how important Sam is to our team. If he's not on his game, then the rest ain't there. But I think it'd be a bit harsh to say because he's not on the game we didn't score. There's only so much he can do, and he's breaking up play. He's trying to make things happen. But when you ain't got no one to aim for, and I do think him and Backinson are working well together. I think if we keep him. And you know what, Matt? Today I saw him become Big T. I saw that physical presence for a little bit, and I was like, I saw him do something. I was like, fucking hell, right? I need to speak to Matt after this because he was right. But just a bit flat. But we'll get there. It's next season's the charge. I was speaking to Santi after the game, and I said, look, if you stay, I'll do the same deal that we're doing with Burns, which is samosas every post game, no problem. So. I think he's going to speak to his agent and see if he's going to come. So that might be a little signing bonus. Samosas and fish before there.
Honestly, Leighton Durrant did ask, would you keep Selena? One good game in 10 isn't good enough in my opinion.
I would, yeah. I think Selena, a couple of things, right? And we don't appreciate. You know how important a pre-season is to players and to just for their fitness and just for their technique and everything. And I know the season's gone on and everything. Then he had the COVID and all the rest of it. He's had a few injuries.
About Selena, you had Bird Edmondson come in. He was injured. You had Sam Morsy came in just before the transfer window. None of them have had a pre-season with Town.
And this is it. I know McKenna's had some training sessions, but give McKenna a pre-season, see how he wants to set up and do his things. And I think, you will see the best in Selena. Like, yes, he was silly and like to push the chap. The guy, again, he went down like a sack of potatoes. Selena's tiny compared to the man, yeah. But again, you don't raise your hand. And they were trying to goad him or whatever. And that's the new kind of tactic in football, isn't it? Like find out who's going to react and try and get him sent off. It's not about actually beating a team now. It's about reducing a team or whatever. So you know what, let them go up, let them get out of the league next season, let them get spanked and come back down with tails between their legs and do their thing from there. But Santi I'd keep, Sam obviously would keep. The only ones again is just your strike force, man. If we had Jackson there, maybe we win. Because I think Jackson under McKenna is the best striker under McKenna. These are we play some of our best football, and I think when you have Jackson link up with other strikers under McKenna, i.e. Piggott looks like he's playing some of his best football when he's with Keiran Jackson. I know he scored he hasn't scored during that stint, and he scored earlier on in the season, but Piggott looks a really good player. And today, the battle's there. He's come on, he's battling. You never know. Like we said this, people said this about JD before. Look at the resurgence he's had. Wolfenden up until January was going to be on the scrap heap as well. So you don't know. Piggott is a goal scorer. He may come back as a third choice, have Keiran Jackson, and then another kind of out and out number one striker or whatever. And I think then you have a pre-season, we'll be up there 100 points, 100 goals.
Okay, perfect. Kelly, safe journey back. Appreciate you. Look after yourself. Few comments before we go. Mike D. Ed with a good pre-season too. George Hug should play 2 up top. Paul was dreaming of a bag-headed goal from McCormick's debut. Then I woke up. Mike D again made Knudsen look good at throw-ins. Second half, we looked tired, said Facebook user Aluko booking was totally unfair. Right, we're back tomorrow, 1:30, Talking Town Live with Rich and Matt. We'll unpack some more opinion. We'll go a bit more in depth than we have done today. Adrak, at least Rotherham can get out of League One. How many years have you been here? Bad loser. And we'll leave it at that. You can support us. Well,
he's not wrong, because they can get out of this league and we ain't even made the playoffs.
But they can't stay there.
But we can cry as much as we want. If we don't shape up, get that mentality right, we'll be sitting here at the same time next year having the same conversation.
Yeah. Agreed. Nothing more needs to be said today. Go and enjoy the sunshine. Have a few brewskis. Enjoy your Saturday evenings. You can support our show through Ko-Fi if you should so want to and wish to and can do so.
MK Don's Wednesday tonight should be a bit tasty, Matt.
I'm fine for football now.
I want to go and watch the FA Cup semi-final.
So do I.
End the show.
Again. Really? Why? It's a semi-final. An FA Cup one. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Honestly, that's the question. Who gives a...
Probably about 90,000 at Wembley do today. And millions watching on telly.
I'm done with it.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back.